Most people have absolutely no idea what number would actually replace their income if they disappeared tomorrow. And that's not a dramatic way to put it, that's just math. Let's fix that in the next 5 minutes. Because the gap between what you think you need and what you actually need is where families get financially wrecked. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your paycheck isn't just money. It's a whole ecosystem of invisible benefits, tax contributions, and daily functions that nobody bothers to add up until it's too late. Think of your income like an iceberg. The salary on your pay stub is just the tip, and the stuff underneath is what sinks the ship. Start with the obvious number, your take-home pay, and then immediately forget it, because that's not actually the number you need to replace. You need to replace your gross income, your benefits package, your employer's share of taxes, and every function you currently perform that someone else would have to be paid to do. Pull up your last pay stub right now and find your gross salary, not net, and write that number down as your starting point. Then add the cost of your health insurance premium that your employer covers, because the moment you're gone, that bill lands entirely on your family's lap. Next, think about what you actually do inside the house that has a dollar value childcare, cooking, transportation, household management, and the average cost to outsource those tasks runs somewhere between $25,000 and $50,000 per year, depending on where you live. We're not being dramatic here, we're being actuaries, and actuaries are the least dramatic people alive. Now add in any debt obligations that carry your name, mortgage, car note, student loans, because your partner can't just call the lender and say, sorry, they left, and expect sympathy. Those balances need a coverage number attached to them, a lump sum that eliminates the monthly pressure entirely. Here's the part most financial calculators completely skip. Factor in your future contributions, meaning retirement savings, college funding, and long-term wealth building that would simply stop without your income. Experts suggest a multiplier somewhere between 10 and 15 times your annual gross income when you stack all these layers together. And for most households, that number is genuinely shocking. People used to believe that one income could carry a family, and the stay-at-home partner had zero economic value, which is the kind of thinking that leaves survivors completely unprepared. Both partners have a replacement income number, whether they earn a paycheck or not. And ignoring either one is a financial blind spot the size of a minivan. The historical lesson here is simple. Every generation discovers the hard way that we'll figure it out is not a strategy, it's a postponement. The families who sit down for 5 minutes and do this checklist are the ones who don't have to make devastating decisions at the worst possible time. Don't let perfection be the enemy of a working number. A rough replacement figure calculated today beats a perfectly optimized plan that never gets done. Write down your gross income, add benefits, add household labor value, add debt elimination. Multiply by years remaining until your youngest child is independent and you have a working target. The misconception that life insurance is expensive is almost entirely responsible for this gap going unfilled, because term coverage for a healthy person in their 30s can cost less than a streaming subscription. You're not buying a luxury product. You're buying a mathematical guarantee that the number you just calculated will show up when it's needed. Discipline here means doing the checklist, sharing the number with your partner, and then actually matching your coverage to it. Not hoping the employer's 2-time salary policy is enough, because it almost never is. Process over panic, position size over emotion, and a boring, consistent plan over a heroic last-minute scramble. At the end of the day, the families who are genuinely okay after the worst happens aren't lucky. They're the ones who spent 5 minutes doing exactly what we just walked through together. Discipline, sizing, and consistency aren't just investing principles. They're the architecture of every resilient household. And if you've done this exercise and realize your coverage needs some serious adjusting, that's not a crisis, that's clarity. And clarity is the only place a good decision can start. We'd rather you know your real number today than have your family discover the gap at the worst possible moment. Whether you're building wealth through real estate, need trustworthy contracting work done in your home, or want help connecting with the right lenders, check out our links in the description below and let's get you started.